All right, hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And you're watching
There's Something Wrong with the Elizabeths.
So that was our third viewing, and for the very first time, we have someone under the age of 18 on our show, and in my opinion, probably the age range that was aimed for this movie. So guest stars, can you guys introduce yourselves?
John Bailey, and I have two middle names, but do you think I'm going to reveal them? Nope.
Very smart. I'm Anna.
So what did you guys think of the movie? Had you seen it before? Give us your opinions.
Okay. May I go first?
Sure.
Okay. It was... there were some yes things and there were some no things. The humor was...
Is that good or bad?
That is the heart, is the funny bone being wrenched clean out of me. And crushed.
Oh, okay, and crushed. So
Yes.
not funny.
Unfunny.
Unfunny.
It's not just not funny, it's unfunny. Unfunny.
Absence of funny.
Mm-hmm.
It is not just absence of funny, it is negative funny. Negative funny.
What do you think the message was? What were they trying to tell us or teach us?
It was very murky. I could not tell if it had to do with work, friends, life in general, expression. They were all in there. It felt like, I'm not sure how to describe it without it being, let me think here. One moment.
I agree. It was confusing. I thought it was a little confusing, but I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to. But maybe partly because I was sitting watching it with all of y'all, getting to hate on it out loud made me actually like the experience and actually like
I
the.
appreciate that. I'm glad we could make it a little less painful.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so
absolutely.
nice. And it's also, you're going to get to go home and now watch it again. So it's...
Yeah. I feel sorry for y'all, but I also kind of am glad that you get to do something that you find really fun.
we
Yes.
do.
Yeah, we do.
I almost wouldn't describe this as fun, but I'm really glad that we do it.
I'm glad I have someone who will do this
Yeah,
with me.
there we go. Speaking of friends and things like that, who do you think the main character was?
I cannot tell if it was Codebreaker or if it was Jean. And okay, how could an emoji be a hacker? Explain this to me. How could a piece of code would it become a hacker? And what is the true identity of the Codebreaker? Is Codebreaker your princess emoji, or is Codebreaker your Codebreaker?
Yeah. I actually think that maybe Jean was the main character because he got to live his dream at the end, and she didn't really get to live her dream. So it kind of like the ending culminated in him having his moment.
And what was the dream of Codebreaker? That was never established. Well, she has her own motives, and she does have her own unique plotline. The movie, I am feeling, should have been about her, not about Jean.
Yeah, she is the one that sort of learns a lesson. Like, her goal is to leave the phone, and then she decides to stay and keep her friends. Whereas Gene doesn't. His lesson that he learns, he already knows kind of at the beginning. Like, at the beginning, he is very expressive, and then at the end, he is very expressive. So, like, he doesn't really learn a lot, except that just, like, it's okay, I guess, to be himself.
It's almost more, it's less of a direct conflict and more of a justification.
Which is funny because it's almost not okay for him to be himself in the emoji world, because when he gets sent off the phone, he's not an emoji, he's a GIF.
Exactly.
He's not being an emoji, he's being a GIF.
Moving around.
He's giffen.
So.
And I think, John, you bringing up the question of Jailbreak's, like, her personality is a good point. I just want to clarify for people who haven't seen the movie. She is secretly a princess. Spoilers, I don't care. But at the end, she, like, is the princess again. Mm-hmm. And so it is kind of confusing about, like, is she this, like, pre-assigned thing that she was trying to run away from?
Right.
You know, because then she puts on the hat and the hair, and she's, like, that's who she is. And then at the end of the movie, she's back to being a princess, and it's like, is it about accepting who you are? And she is the
I think this lazy filmmaking. I think they could have just like at the end had her don a hat or something, and they could have given her a moment. They're kind of like, the movie's over. Let's
put a crown on her hacker hat and
Yeah,
show like
yes.
she's
Yeah,
doing
there we
both.
go.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is
Yes.
both. Yeah, I like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Even though the crown does seem to be attached to her head, but they could have figured it out.
They
somehow.
could have
Yeah.
figured it out.
So we asked you at the beginning to think about what worlds are untapped. We've got Toy Story, we've got Lego Movie,
Cars.
we've got Emoji Movie, we've got Cars.
Finding Nemo.
What
Planes.
worlds are untapped?
All of them all the way.
Okay, I'm plants and insects.
You know, I
think
thought
we do have
insects
an
too,
insect.
but
So we've
they've
got
got
Bug-
Bugs Life and ants.
But we don't have a plant movie.
No.
We don't.
Ooh,
That
I think
is
it's because
really
they're so
smart.
sedentary.
Yeah, but they
Have to be-
talk
There's
to each
still,
other.
There's still a lot. They do talk to
Yeah.
each other. They could be trying to communicate like from one part of the world to
Mhm.
the other.
I like that. I like the plants. That's
And,
smart.
and or maybe like a new invasive species or something.
Mhm.
That would
Like,
be like a
yes.
really
An
big
animated version of The Happening,
Yeah.
but like not a horror movie.
Yeah.
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 thing.
Okay.
Not like the gut microbiome or something like that.
Oh.
That would
Was
act-
that? Was that?
sounds
I never saw
cool.
Osmosis Jones. Was
Osmosis
that-
Jones
Oh,
did not really
something-
cover that very well. I would
Yeah.
not say Osmosis Jones is the gut biome. I think there could be a gut biome story.
Yeah,
There
that
could be.
There could
that
be.
sounds good.
There could be.
And where does
There-
it go after you poop and all this stuff?
Osmosis Jones enter the gut.
So
They're good.
I want, and Anna, feel free to grab your phone, or I can
Okay.
show you my
Okay.
emojis. But what 5 emojis would you use to describe this movie? You can't just use the poop emoji 5 times. What 5 emojis do you think you'd use to describe this movie?
Would we give it a meh? Or is that too easy?
I have an answer, but I'm going to let Anna answer.
Oh no, go ahead. I actually kind of, there was stuff about it I really liked. I thought it was funny. But maybe I'd definitely give it a like a and I'd give it a heart eyes. I'd give it 1 heart eyes.
Okay.
And a and
2 more.
2 more.
I think I would be utilizing the eye roll.
Oh, an eye
Yes.
roll. Maybe a cry and just a
Single tear
Yeah,
cry,
single
not
tear.
a double
No,
cry.
no.
But just
Okay.
one.
an ironic.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I would do. Emoji. G, laughing, crying on its side emoji. G, meh, emoji. G, trying to think 2 more emojis. G's thumbs down emoji.
Mm.
G, and emoji.
So John, from your kid's opinion, your preteen's opinion,
Yes.
is this a good movie or is this a bad movie?
I would say it is in the middle. It could go either way, but in my opinion, it is bad.
Okay, so it's almost like a meh movie.
It's not
Diplomatic
really
response.
it's not really a meh movie. It's it's more of an indecisive movie. It's more of a
Yeah.
movie. If
Yeah,
if
very
this
mixed.
little head cock with the eyebrow down thing was an emoji, it would be that.
Mm.
I wrote down one of my favorite John quotes early in the movie. John said, "That's just no."
Yeah, I think as I get more preteeny and teeny, I'm gonna have to use that a lot more. Prepare, Mom.
You had some interesting thoughts on Smiler too.
Mm.
Because at first you're like, oh, she's clearly the villain before she was, and then you kind of seem to sympathize with her.
Yeah, she was trying to keep everything cohesive. At first, she seemed like the over-smiley villain who behind that charming smile hides evil intent. But really, she's just trying to keep the world from collapsing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people, when they're faced with that kind of task, go, ah! But she can only have that one face, smiling. And you said that they could still feel anything on the inside. They just had to do that face. But I beg to differ from Smiler. She said she actually did happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
yeah.
She does
seems
put
like
that
a.
pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She's got. I think there's an untold story of Smiler. I'd like to
Yes.
see like a villain prequel
Yes,
Ah.
like
where we find out why she is this way. Because I feel like she has a really big reaction to Jean really quickly, almost like. And she
Oh.
said she's been around since the beginning. Maybe she's seen this happen before.
And
Mhm.
Jean's dad said he had the same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah, and he hit it like he knows, like not just even that like I can't just be meh at my job and then express myself outside of it. Mel seems to know, like, that you have to, like, stuff it down, even outside of work.
Just-
Like, in this world, it is just not okay, which feels like he learned that lesson from something.
Yeah.
Like, something happened before.
Something's happening
Yes!
that we don't know about.
There could be a prequel. I
There
think there's
should be a
material
prequel.
for it.
There should be a Cruella in like 101
No, we don't want there to be a prequel. Sony, please don't make a
To
prequel.
quote you, that is just no.
No.
And that quote is just yes.
That's like a pair of buttocks on an emoji hand.
Yeah.
That's just no.
Just that is just
What were the two of you? I like the idea of like a bad thing that happens being the buttocks on emoji hand moment. But what was your emoji pop? What was the positive
Yes,
thing?
we described the positive thing as the emoji pop from the movie.
Yes.
Oh, the emoji pop. Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha. That was
Okay.
your emoji pop. Well, I don't know. What was yours, John? Think about it.
I'm going to say
Here, we can share ours if you guys want a minute to think.
yeah,
Because we take
Okay,
notes.
sure.
Lucy,
Yeah, we
you want to
do.
go first?
Yeah, I actually liked, so one thing that bothers me in this movie is that the hand is hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I find that perplexing, and I don't care for that. Like,
Hungry hand and the mouth.
James
was
Corden
weird.
is,
Yeah.
I guess, a little pudgy, and so that means every character he plays has to be fat. That's the joke. I'm not a fan of that, and I don't know. But I liked that twice he pushed a button.
Yes.
And the first time it was like this compulsive, like, I'm a hand, I have to push a button. And I kind of liked that joke. It didn't make me laugh out loud, but I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And the first time it is a bad thing, but then I like that at the end he saves the day by being a hand pushing a button.
Mhm.
that is kind of a nice hand justification.
So it was
Yeah.
like a little bit of a
It's a
plan
good
to
hand
the
gesture.
payoff. Yeah. It was.
Sorry.
No, it's something I have to get used to for the many hours ahead. Watching this movie with someone as punny as you are. So, but that was my emoji pop. Is I liked that joke, and then I liked that they called back to it.
Oh, that's good.
I did not like much about the movie, but there were two minor things.
Okay.
One, it was not the normal animation style. It looked very close to it, but it was not quite it. It was almost claymation, but it was done cybernetically and it was more 3D.
Okay.
So not the new sucked dry like a vampire's favorite victim thing, but more a livelier. And the other thing was the amazing design of the world. The world design I think was really cool, with all of the little hidden puns, some of which made me go, "Oh, my funny bone, my funny bone." But some of them were actually pretty good.
Nice.
But some of them were also just too obscure for me to get and just went, phew, and crashed
Yeah.
and burned.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought some of the writing was good, better than I was expecting it. Like,
Mhm.
the characters had some witty lines, and I liked the dance off was awesome, and I loved the sound waves. Then I thought that was a clever pun and also pretty. So
Oh, the sound waves, I didn't get that.
I liked in the early scene when his family is in the bathroom with him and they're talking to him about, well, maybe you shouldn't go to work. I looked in the stalls and you can't see, because poop comes in later in that scene, you can't see anybody's feet. And then you hear a flush right before they come up. I think Poop and his son commute via toilet.
They
Like in
know.
Harry Potter.
Oh, that's
I think
clever.
they commute via
I
toilet,
had
so
not
that's
thought of
how they
that.
get there.
That makes
Do
sense.
they use poo powder instead of flu powder?
Oh my god.
Oh.
And on that note, I think we will be ending this video. If you'd like to join us, we end doing the emoji pop.
Yeah, we
How
did.
do
So
the
it's you
emoji
do
pop?
hands over your face and then you pull your hands down and you make a different face.
Oh, emoji
right.
pop. Okay.
Thanks for joining us.